everyone, I am Justintime and welcome to this exclusive video interview series brought to you by People Matters in association with SumTotal Systems. In this series, we bring to you the success stories of organizations that are doing a commendable job in future-proofing their workforce for the era of hyper-digitization. These stories will inspire other organizations to not only kickstart their own learning journey in the era of digital, but will also help them take the right decisions and adopt the right approach. And in today's episode, we're at the beautiful office of Bank Mandiri in Jakarta. Thank you, Steven, for joining us. Thank you, Amanda, for joining us. Steven, I'd like to start with you since we're talking about the era of hyper-digitization and how organizations are moving from the first phase of digital transformation onto the next phase of digital transformation. What does it mean in the context of your business and industry today?
For us, especially in the financial sectors, the hyper-digitization means the hyper-competitions, and both in market space and also in talent space. For the market space, I think like we learned before in our school, for sure, that we used to compete on the three strategic options: low-cost leadership, quality, and also in terms of speeds. Meaning that either you want to become a faster, cheaper, or better products. However, now it's becoming more and more sophisticated and more complex. Company is really demand, or product and service is really demanded as better, faster, and cheaper at the same time. And the second one is also the last category of the industry, especially on the product and services. At this moment, we really compete on platform. Nevertheless, we never really thought before that we compete on the financial services with the online transportation services in terms of payment services, right? And with this, I think it's broadened up the competitions. Especially, you are not compete on the same category of product, but you're competing on the platform. Which platform is really win? The one that can create speed to market, can create the better user experience, and also can gain many insight from the big data that they have. So that's why these three things is really changing the game of all competitions now.
Yeah. True. Thank you so much for that. So Amanda, when we talk of hyper-digitization, I think learning plays a very crucial part here because learning is really profoundly affected by technology. So what do you think, what role can technology play in, creating better learning experiences for the future workforce?
Yeah, so thank you. I do think that, technology is central, but also central to that technology is going to be the engagement with that technology. And that engagement that you have with that learner, that user experience is invaluable, right? And it's going to add to your company culture and what your company knows about its people and how you go about developing those people. I think that's going to be critical. So learning and development and technology hand in hand, but definitely to be digitally transformative. It goes back from the days of putting information into just a fridge to store it per se, to jazzing it up and adding that spice, and that space is technology today.
Awesome, yes, thank you so much. So Steven, in this new age of digital transformation, what are the key talent challenges that you foresee this industry will see now?
Okay, so it's quite interesting, actually in this new era, in this new digital era, attracting, finding, developing, and retaining the right talent remains the challenges of in the industry. So especially when we have an open information era, and then the flawless of mobility of the labor force, given the situations currently, what we thought is talent war is over. The winner is talent now. It's not the corporations, because talent now is really can, for instance, like the millennials, at this moment, the average tenure of millennials is on average maybe less than 5 years now. Compared to the 10 years ago, maybe, you've been in the company for about 5 years, you already considered, oh, it's short, yeah? But now I've seen many experience that millennials keep changing jobs every 2 years. So that is one of the challenges. So that result on the company that, especially in the talent market, we need to have an innovative HR ways to accommodate this environment. Yeah, especially when also the trend of the contingent labor is really raised. Yeah, we need to really build HR policy that very agile, that can accommodate first flex work, flex benefit, flex time, yeah, right, and also flex learner, right. So that's why I think it's really crucial now in these organizations to change the way the HR delivered services. Yeah, before they delivered services based on operational excellence, based on HR policy, based on the company needs. But now you compete, like Amanda mentioned before, it's not, especially in the talent market, now it's shifting from the employee branding, yeah, to employee experience. Now we compete based on the experience. At this moment, we see that a lot of companies shifting, they change the looks of the corporations to more Instagrammable workplace. Yeah, so they change the look and say. But I said that that's no longer. Yeah, why? Because they will be moved. Yeah, from Instagrammable workplace to Insta story experience. Right? Because now millennials can share their experience, especially in their work, because now there is no border between life, work, and play. So they merge now, right? So that's why I said that company needs to think, yeah, about one of innovative HR ways to really give meaningful employee experience that can integrate life, their work, and when they play.
How about learning in this era then? Is that a challenge also that you face?
Sure, yeah. So the key here, especially in the more agile environment, I call just-in-time capabilities. Yeah, and just-in-time capabilities is derived from these two elements. Yeah? First is about the just-in-time workers, meaning that when we need somebody with this capability is available and ready yet. It's not we need to wait to onboard them, to train them, and so on. Yeah? So we need really employee that have this capability, for instance, like project, onboarded as fast as possible. Yeah? So maybe it's no speed to productivity, we just have this employee is ready. So that's why contingent workers now is becoming more threat. Yeah? That is when we talk about the quantity. And then when we talk about the qualities, yeah, we need really also a just-in-time learning, right? So learnings that really can immediately happening. Yeah, it's like you want to watch TV now. Like before, you need to buy or see the TV program, yeah, and then look at that, and then wait until your TV program is being run. But now, you just Google it or you just Netflix it, and then you can find which TV programs that you like, which season TV series that you like, and then you just play it. And this is exactly the same as learning will do in this digital way.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you. Amanda, would you like to add a little bit on the key talent challenges?
Yeah, so I think you hit on a lot of them, Steven, but ready right now, right? We're seeing a lot of this in the contingent workforce. We're seeing a lot of this in the projectized organizations. There is no time to build up those skills. You need somebody right now for a certain project, right? So through technology, you can enable that and make sure that those skills are there and those people are ready. So yeah, I think that definitely is a challenge. And then I think, you know, in terms of just in time, you hit the nail on the head. Generationally and just even every day, we're all growing to expect that we can have just in time when we want it in our hand on the mobile device. And by topic and however we want to search it, searchable and easy to access. I think that's going to be key now and going forward.
So Steven, that brings me to you. When you talk about future-proofing your workforce for the era of hyper-digitization, technology is changing on a daily basis. So how do you ensure that the future-proofing is happening at that time?
Okay, so agility is now the name of the game. So I call it agility is the new talent currency, right? So with the agility, I think this one, I try to be to look at the definition of agility itself. It's coming from sports, right? And then when we talk about sports, that agility is like how you position your body very effective, to do some, styles or whatever, so in terms of agility, like in sport, we need to develop the 4 muscles, I said. The 4 muscles of agility is first is the mental agility, right? So in this complex environment, you need to learn about how to navigate complexity, tolerance with ambiguity. That is really the key. Yeah, you need to raise the bar of your capacity to embark this. The second one is the emotional agility. Yeah, what does it mean is, first you need to adapt with any people you face. And then I found it really interesting. In the last 5 years, and then when we talk about Internet of Things, digitals, AI, cloud, and so on and so forth, I found many interesting findings that human is now becoming more important. Why? Because especially in this era, the soft skills, especially the emotional intelligence, becoming more and more critical. Yeah. So that's why emotional intelligence for me is becoming number 2 muscle. Number 3, I call it growth mindset. Yeah. So in terms of this, you need to be open. Yeah. I said you need to have certain agreeableness. Not necessarily you always agree to others, but you need to have like a sense of agreeableness to make yourself easily open to the external environment. Otherwise, you limit yourself and then you limit your capacity and capability. Last but not least, we need to shift from human capital to human development. Yeah, what does it mean? And in terms of human capital, you still think human as a capital. Yeah, is not more than money, other asset, and so forth and so forth. But human is not money. Yeah, they grow as a human being. So that's why we need to move from KPI to KDI. What does KDI mean? It's key development indicator. Whether you as a human being will be better as a human being. So that's why I start to use the term human development instead of human capital. Yeah, because I think in this digital world, human actually is playing more and more critical role than before, especially when we talk about human resources.
Absolutely. That's such an amazing thought. You tell me, Amanda, in the wake of digital transformation, how is the role of the CEO and the CHRO changing, and what mindset is required to adapt to this change now?
Yeah, absolutely. So before, the CHROs really didn't have a seat at the table. the voice wasn't always heard because the focus was more on process and paperwork versus people. So you hit on it exactly when you said resources. It was human resources, right? Where we were thinking you're a commodity, right? Now it's human development and it's talent development too, right? It's taking into consideration that entire life cycle, and digital transformation has allowed CEOs and CHROs to have a different voice, and that's because they are the cultivators of the organizational culture, and that's where the engagement and that's where employee retention, all of that kind of starts, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. So I think this is the way forward to create employees who are future-proof, who are ready for the future, who are not human capital, but are developed human beings for the future. So thank you so much for your time, Amanda. Thank you, Steven, for your time. And with this, we come to the end of this episode of this exclusive video interview series brought to you by People Matters in association with SumTotal Systems. Stay tuned for more such exciting stories from organizations across the globe. Thank you and keep watching.